sacrifice a lot of time for us. Also, I would request you now, I don't know whether you're in the same matter.
No, the complainant.
He is the complainant. Yeah.
Allow us to deal with this senior member of the Law Society. That is what people do in court. We finish with her and her team, then we will hear you. There is no problem.
He is the complainant in this matter.
He's in this matter?
Yes.
It's okay.
Yes.
It's okay. We will proceed to hear you.
Okay.
And we had made a decision yesterday on elections with regard to filing documents and exchanging them. So first of all, let me know who is present.
You wanna allow present for the complainant? Yes.
For the second and third respondents, my name is Ms. Kamende. I appear together with Mr. Brian Onyango, Mr. Mokua Manyara, and Mr. Benjamin Njeru for the second and third respondents.
For second and third respondents.
Yes, I wish to confirm to the panel that parties of...
There's no returning officer.
I'm sorry.
Thank you, Your Honor. We have 3 sets of affidavits. We have the first affidavit attached to the complaint, the affidavit of Nicholas Ekai Lomoru, sorry, 9th of June 2022. We have an affidavit supporting that complaint. It is sworn by one.
It's another affidavit.
Yes.
Okay.
Peter Ewat Longoli. It is dated 14th of June 2022. And then we have the last affidavit again, further, which is a response to what our colleagues had indicated, by Ekai Lomoru Nicholas, who is the complainant. It is dated 17th of June 2022. Yes, that is, those are the affidavits we are relying on together with the annexures. Yes. Yes, we confirm we have filed our submissions. They are dated today, the 18th of June 2022.
Ms. Kamende, do you confirm that you have those documents?
Yes, I confirm those documents have
Mr.
been.
Returning Officer, you confirm you have those documents? Okay, Ms. Kamende, could you let us know which documents you filed on the July 1?
Yes, we filed a notice of preliminary objection dated 16th June 2022.
Yes.
We filed the second respondent's replying affidavit, that is Ekusi Mika Lore, on the 16th of June. It is dated 16th of June 2022. We also filed the third respondent's replying affidavit. That is the replying affidavit by John Lodepe Nakara, filed on 16th of June, dated 16th of June. We filed a further affidavit today, sworn by the second respondent, Ekusi Mika Lore. It is dated and filed 18th of June 2022. And lastly, we filed our submissions on behalf of the second and third respondents today, dated and filed today, 18th of June 2022, together with the list, with the bundle of authorities. We annex the authorities in one bundle.
That's all in terms of the documentation?
Yes, that's all.
Let's just do an audit so that I can confirm what I have.
You know, I've forgotten to mention, we also have a replying affidavit to the PO. The replying affidavit is dated 17th of June 2022.
Mr. Obono,
Yes,
which documents have you filed which you want to?
I filed the responding affidavits dated 13, filed on 14, with the next. I filed another affidavit responding to a further affidavit dated 15 of June 2022. And I filed written submission dated 17 June 2022, but filed today, June 2022.
Just take a few minutes to do an audit of documents to confirm that we do have
Kita awatu ngoli. Sworn
having one of 10th of June, filed on 11th of June. I don't think we've mentioned it.
10th of June.
Complainant's father affidavit, Peter Ewatu Mangoli.
Yes, that's the one.
So it's not 14th of June.
No, it is 10th of June. Apologies.
have for Lodepe,
Yes.
Nakara,
And the other one is
Ekusi Mikalore. There are two of them. A replying affidavit dated 16th of June 2022 and a further affidavit sworn and dated on the 18th of June 2022. We don't have any dated 17th.
okay.
Yes.
How much time is really given to so that we deal with other matters?
Very well.
Just 1 minute, please tell me what is basically the problem?
Very well. The complainant has approached the committee raising or questioning the procedure in which the initial former, or rather the former running mate
Okay.
to the ticket of governor under the UDA ticket was substituted.
Okay. It's clear. It's clear to me. I've already done, and I think we are delivering a ruling on a similar issue tomorrow. The returning officer, I've had them. I know the direction they are taking.
Yeah. I got a compliment. My submission is this, that the UDA governance candidate came before me with this running mate. And the running mate met all the requirements and qualifications.
Okay.
So I registered them for this election. Yeah.
Ms. Kamende, do I really need to hear you? Because
No.
I can now I now know where this thing is coming from. You have to justify how the UDA candidate was now the running mate was substituted, and that you are going to defend that whatever it is that you did before the returning officer was proper.
Yes, I think this has
I'm
been...
not recording anything.
Yes, I'm just saying that this issue has been litigated over and over. Section 18. The crux here is whether there was any substitution of the DG candidate after 7th of June 2022, pursuant to Section 18 of the Elections Act. Submission is that there was only one DG presented to the returning officer, the second respondent. That is the crux of this matter.
I'm dealing with a very similar matter.
Yes.
And I think Mr. Lau, I know exactly where you guys are going. How long would you take, in view of the fact that you've given us the submissions? How long would you take?
Well, for me, okay.
Yes, Mr. Lau, how long would you take?
I would request for, if it's agreeable, perhaps probably like 7 minutes. Then I will split it. I will submit perhaps 4 or 5 minutes, and then I will request the subject, in this case, whoever I'm saying is the former DG, to get a chance and be cross-examined by the panel and give direct evidence. Because there are things I would not say from the bar, from a direct experience with the CRO. He can paint a picture to the committee of every event that happened prior to that.
We actually, we just happen to be thorough with our work. Some people say we cross-examine. What we're just seeking is clarity from...
Very well.
Some people have run away. You remember yesterday, I don't know whether you were here, when an advocate abandoned his client and now said, I cannot answer those people. I was just a conveyor belt of the information. So the make of this information, we are not cross-examining, we are
Yes.
just seeking clarity.
Yes, within that, just for purposes of clarifying any gray areas, I would be donating, because he's present in court.
Okay.
Yes, just to give context.
Okay, that's okay. So you are looking at 7 minutes from your side.
Yes.
I don't know how long your decision is based on documents, how long would you want to take in view of the fact that you have submissions?
At most 5 minutes.
Out of 5 minutes. Ms. Kamende?
Yes.
Mr. Ola was feeling, your brother was feeling overwhelmed yesterday that you come with a battery of lawyers. I don't know. You're feeling intimidated. So I think maybe if only you would talk. How long would you want to take us in this submissions?
To be fair, Mr. Chair, we can take the time he has taken, 7 minutes. Can I split 3.5 to my colleague, Mr. Onyango, who will just tackle the legal issue? Then I can take 3.5 minutes.
I think that is fair. 7 minutes, 7 minutes, 7 minutes. I know as donated is 2 minutes, 1 minute, 1 minute.
Oh, thank you.
So I think that is okay.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Lau, Douglas.
Yes.
You know what to do. And when you hear that beeping sound, you know
Very
it's
well.
us speaking.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Lau.
Okay. In principle, the complaint before the Honorable Tribunal has been brought by one Ekai Lomoru Nicholas, who is a voter within Turkana County. Nicholas presents to this tribunal issues challenging the substitution of one Peter Ewat Lomoru with the name of one Mika Ekusi Lore. The dispute arises from the basic compliance of the guidelines issued by the Commission. Gazette Notice number 4959 of 28th April 2022 stipulated of 28th April 2022. Yes, Your Honor. It is annexed to the further affidavit of Ekai Lomoru, the affidavit dated 17th of June. Yes, it's the first annex. No, it is filed on 17th. Sorry. 18th is only submissions.
Oh, if you see that alone.
No. Ekai Lomoru Nicholas.
Okay.
Nicholas Lomoru Ekai. No. Yes, very well. Yes. This notice gave interested contestants, be they in the form of parties or independent candidates, to submit their names together with those of the running mates to the Commission. A deadline of 16th of May 2022. Prior to that, the governor nominee or the governor candidate of the UDA ticket had approached one Peter Ewat Lomoru to switch parties. Therefore, he resigned from the Jubilee Party. Yes. He approached Mr. Ewat to resign from the Jubilee Party and join him as his running mate. The details of that resignation and joining of UDA are annexed to the affidavit of Peter Ewat Lomoru, dated 10th June 2022. Longoli. Lomoru is Nicholas. Let's use the first names. Use the first name, Peter Nicholas.
here.
Yes.
Where we can, please let us refer to them as first, second, and third respondents.
Very well, very well.
So you're saying, see, who's
The third respondent, one John Lodepe, okay, the third respondent had approached the then Peter Ewart, who is not now a party, he's not a direct party, to join him in the UDA party and be his running mate. In compliance with the party rules and the party directions, which are annexed to the affidavit of Peter. Yes, 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 yes.
you are saying that you approached him to join his running mate?
To resign from Jubilee Party and join UDA Party and be his running mate. The purpose of switching the parties was to become his running mate before the deadline of 16th of May, when the names were to be presented. Now, Mr. Ewart fully complied with all the directions, and his affidavit has all the annexures, including the payments, which were made before the 16th of May deadline, as is in the Gazette notice. The two proceeded to the office of the CRO and presented themselves in that manner as candidate and deputy. All through, they hit the campaign trail in that manner, up and until 5th of June 2022, when Peter together with the third respondent met at the CRO's office for purposes of cross-checking their suitability and the checks on their forms and their papers and everything to be in order. The first meeting was on 5th, which
so Peter is not a party to this.
Peter is not. Peter has done the supporting affidavit to the complaint. So he will elaborate more on what transpired in the meeting of 5th and the meeting of 6th in the office of CRO. From that, on 7th, the name that was published by the CRO, published loosely, as the deputy nominee candidate for the UDA ticket is the second respondent. Now, all this journey from the first Gazette notice from the Commission in January, 20th January, giving specific timelines and important dates, for lack of a better word, the second respondent was never part of the party. From the affidavit of
Part of the party of the conversation.
conversation and party, I will clarify. On the affidavit of the complainant, one Nicholas, the first affidavit annexed to the complaint,
So, yes, I was the date. File 1 and 2.
the affidavit dated 9th June, filed on 10th June, which is attached to the complaint. One of the annexures is the details that show the second respondent became a party member to the UDA party on 3rd of June 2022. 3rd of June 2022. 4 days before their appointment on 7th of June at the CRO, the official appointment with the CRO. 4 days. With humility, I don't know, would you allow me a bit of time to summarize? I don't know.
You see now,
Yes.
Council, you utilized most of the time trying to get the factual analysis, which is actually contained in the affidavits.
Yes.
I'd give you 30 seconds to summarize on the factual issues.
Yes.
Now, I would like you to substantively address us. It's It's just that this is one of those things that matters which require a little bit of more thinking than we do in others. And I would like you to take like about 2 minutes. You see that there's a replying affidavit which a notice of preliminary objection.
Yes.
Challenging our jurisdiction to deal with this matter.
Yes.
In view of what has been prepared. It's talking about procedural settlement of disputes and all this.
Yes.
I would like you to just
Touch on that.
30 seconds, then I'll add the 2 minutes, and also
He's here.
and also add the 2 minutes
Yes.
to your colleagues, so that if they need it, to delve into the issue of, because that is what is most important, you know, McCoy, motor vehicle, vessel S, if you don't have jurisdiction,
Very well.
the first link of the decision will be on jurisdiction.
Yes.
And then we might just decide loosely to say, if we had agreed with jurisdiction, this is what we could have done. But jurisdiction has to, that is what comes into our face the first thing. Do we have jurisdiction?
As from where I stand as a complainant, the tribunal has got all the jurisdiction that it could ever have. We have summarized our response in the replying affidavit and the supporting provisions of the law.
I was just being fair to you, and
Yes.
I'm giving you a little bit more time because I see you're struggling. I don't want to come here and say that some of us were not sleeping.
I sympathize.
But we want to hear you, we want to be fair to you.
Yes.
Then we extend that fairness to your colleagues also.
Very well.
Because you have barely scratched the surface. That's why I'm
Yes.
giving you 2 more minutes.
Okay.
So that you finalize on this, and you also give your plan the amount of time you requested.
Yes.
Now we extend that latitude to your colleagues.
Across.
if they need
Yes.
it,
Yes.
So just summarize, then maybe you will address us on the issue of jurisdiction.
On the issue of jurisdiction, I've responded, and I am content that the tribunal has sufficient jurisdiction to deal with the substance of the complaint.
I do not want you to throw that on our face. Sometimes judges come up and say, I've read the pleadings, I've had submissions, we find that the case, this suit is hereby dismissed. Just as I'm giving you 2 minutes, I don't
Yes.
know why you're running away.
No, I was trying to emphasize, go into the substance of the complaint,
Yes.
where I feel that 2 minutes would be more needed because of bringing out certain facts, because and as you rightly put it before we say be off the record, you are dealing with a similar. So that's why I'm saying I am.
So I'm asking you, what is your view, so that this might also enrich our decision in the other matter on issues jurisdiction, and what your colleagues have contended.
Yes.
So on issues of jurisdiction, what do you want us to record?
On the issues of jurisdiction, the complainant indicates that the committee, as established by the Act, has competent jurisdiction to deal with the complaint as has been presented before it. This is because the dispute touches on the mandate and powers of the CRO and his engagement on partiality and impartiality with candidates at the grassroots level.
Maybe just to understand it better.
Yes.
You are saying that your client,
Yes.
okay, that your client is holding scripts for somebody who is, in your view, invalidly removed as a running.
Yes. They are both here.
Yeah, they are both there.
Yes.
The person who is invalidly removed as a candidate.
Yes.
And someone else now was now put forward and presented as the party candidate.
Yes.
You understand now where I'm coming from?
Yes.
And you are saying that, if I'm understanding you right, the party was wrong to assist the governor to present somebody else's name.
Now, that is exactly why I'm saying,
Okay. Is that what you're saying?
no. What I'm saying is this. The switch, the substitution, was influenced by the commission. And that is why I've made reference to a meeting of the 5th, 6th, and 7th of June.
Did the party, because if I understand
Yes.
the way I understand it, the party has something to do with the nomination of its candidates. True or false?
True.
So did the party give any document in saying that these are our candidates?
The party, before the deadline of 16th of May, as is presented in the Gazette notice, did present their candidates. And the candidates are those who paid for that particular ticket. And those annexures are in the affidavit of Peter Ewart.
So you do not have a quarrel with the party?
No, we have a quarrel with the decision-making process and the impartiality of the CRO and his role to influence the change. Sure.
Is Ekusi Mika a member of UDA party? And if at the time of clearance?
At the time of clearance, he was a member 4 days earlier. Their clearance for UDA party was scheduled for 7th of June. He became a member on 3rd. At the time of nomination, as per the Gazette note, the deadline of 16th of May, he was not a member. So that is part of the contention.
Okay, I understand.
Yes.
I just wanted to also understand.
Yes.
Was he a member of another party?
As of 16th of May, he was not a member of party, any other party that I would know
He
of.
was a not member.
No. That is now Peter Ewart. It is not Ekusi. It is Peter, not Mika. The second respondent is the one who. Sorry for the tongue twisters. Yes.
So
John is the governor candidate. John Lodepe,
John Lodepe is
the third respondent. Yes.
So who did Ekusi replace?
Peter Ewart.
Who was a NAT member?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So the NAT member was told to resign from NAT. You will be my running. Then along the way, he was shoved aside, and now Ekusi came into the picture.
You're getting the drift. That is it. Now,
So,
yes.
So now there is a consultant. So Ewart is now using a Kai. No, Peter is now using a Kai
Yes.
to block his replacement.
Not to block his replacement. Ekai is in his own right a voter. Now you realize by the time you are coming in as a running mate, you have your supporters.
No, I understand.
Yes. He had his support.
We know this game. Sir.
Yes, very well. I'm glad you know. Yes. Yes. Now, the challenge is that even though Ekusi is the replacement... Sorry, you had a question, Commissioner.
Before the third,
Yes.
in what party was Ekusi?
Ekusi. He was not in any party.
He was partyless.
He was not a member of any party.
He was not. I cannot from the bar ascertain to you that he was a member
Is
of
he
Party
here?
X.
Is he
He's not present today. He was here yesterday.
He's on his way, if I can confirm. Both the second and third respondent had scheduled a flight for 4 p.m. So if they're required, they're on their way here.
Would you know whether he was a member of any party?
Yes, I would know that he was a member of the UDA party. We have annexed his life membership certificate from the party, where it is not contested, issued on the 25th of March 2022, signed by Veronica Maina, the Secretary General, and Mr. attached to the affidavit of Mr. Kusi Mika Lore, sworn on the 16th of June 2022, signed by Mr. Johnson Mudama, who is the chairperson, and Ms. 16th of June 2022. Document number EL04. Exhibit EL04.
Okay, so as I was saying, we are not able to confirm because, as my colleague has rightly put it, they have a membership certificate that shows life membership. In the affidavit, they make reference to the certificate was issued on 23rd of March. But according to the government records of Registrar of Political Parties, his membership began on 3rd of June. I can therefore not, according to the certificate annexed to the affidavit of Ekusi, he alleges in the affidavit that it was issued on 25th of March, 2022. Sorry?
His membership commenced on which date?
According to the certificate, it says 25th of March, 2022. He goes further to allege that he made payment and was issued with that. We have no comment about the payment because there is no proof of the same. According to the official government records, Office of the Registrar of Political Parties, his membership began on 3rd of June, 2022. So membership in itself, again, is an issue. Now, to just wind up, as you had humbly given me, the subsequent forms that were filled by Mika Lore, Ekusi Lore, ended up being altered in a manner to fabricate dates. The affidavit of Ekai Nicholas, the one dated the one dated 17th of June, has annexed a forged EACC form.
Do you know that it is forged, or you just don't agree with the document?
I can substantiate the allegations, however, it's an allegation as I put it. The form has certain inconsistencies that is not... It is exhibited in the affidavit of Ekai Lomoru Nicholas, dated 17th June 2022. It is annexure number ELN2, 17th June 2022. The reasoning behind ELN2, the reason behind the assertion that the form is fabricated, on the face of it, this form is supposedly stamped on 23rd of May, 2022. 2022. However, the deponent, because it is in a manner of an affirmation or a declaration, writes 6th of June 2022.
That's the time it was signed?
Yes.
The date it was signed?
Yes. The inconsistency, ordinarily EACC does not sign forms in advance and issue to declarants to go and fill it when they need it. So it was signed by EACC before it was signed by the declarant. The date of the stamp is 23rd May. The signature of the declarant is June 6th. Now, the reason there is the next document to that affidavit is an OB. Another voter within the same constituency has presented an official complaint at Lodwar Police Station. The OB is annexed as ELN3 for forgery. Off the cuff, for forgery of the documents, the EACC, in relation to the same forms. Because these records do not exist at the EACC regional offices in Eldoret or the entire EACC system. This form does not exist. Next to it, sorry.
Who is the declarant on that form?
Ekusi Mikalore. Honorable Committee, you will realize that this is 6th of June, a day after joining UDA party, which we said was 3rd of June, 2 days later, according to the government records. Now, next to it, another contention is this. According to the official UDA website, which we have annexed, the membership number of Ekusi Lore is different from the records of the registrar of political parties and the number presented on the alleged life membership certificate. So which is his actual number as a member?
So, there are 3 members.
Yes.
Come again. The first
I'm
one
saying
ORPP number
the ORPP number
is what?
is 015 UDA E31939436. According to the UDA records, against the same ID number, the membership number is UDA 3852584. It is not possible one member has got 2 membership numbers at the political party. Now, how they say? Yes.
Let me seek clarification because you are now trying to. I don't know whether it's lead me or lead us into, apart from making a finding on what would amount to electoral offences. My question that I'm still struggling with is this. We find ourselves clothed with jurisdiction, and I ask you a question which I'm still not satisfied with your answer. If I'm not satisfied, then I'll go and read more.
Yes.
What role does a political party play in
Yes.
the nomination of a candidate for the purposes of presentation of the papers to a returning officer?
That role, as I earlier on said, according to the Gazette notice and according to what is before this Honorable Tribunal, ended on 16th of May.
No, I'm just saying.
And that role was, yes,
Does a political party,
yes,
does any document from a political party give weight or credence to a decision that a returning officer is to make?
the returning officer must determine the membership. And in his own affidavit, dated, he has
I'm
said,
talking in abstract.
Yes.
Let's remove ourselves from your
this specific case.
It's a legal issue.
Yes.
In terms of there's independent candidates and then there are party member candidates. That's why you have to submit your list of those guys to go to primaries.
Yes.
And now, after the primaries, then now you say this person participated in our primaries. After our primaries, then now we are presenting so and so to you.
True.
So where does the role of the party stop? Can the party tell the registrar that no, we are not agreeable to the person who has presented the papers to you. He is not our candidate.
Can the party do that? Yes. That is where Section 18 comes in. There is a procedure to do that.
And then I'm asking this.
Yes.
Has the party, in this particular instance, has UDA as a party ever disowned, because you're talking about forgeries, this, that, and that?
Yes.
Has UDA as a party, or rather, has your client, plus the person who was removed, ever complained to UDA that there's something wrong here? The person who you have nominated as a party, as a candidate, and whom we had a confidence in, together with the running mate whom we had confidence in, it looks like something has changed in the pipeline and there's something wrong going on before the
Commission.
the plant ever did such a complaint.
I am not aware of such complaint. I cannot provide any documentation to that effect. Yes. So where I'm leading to and where the role of the CRO comes in, the CRO, in his own affidavit, has indicated that he analyzed these documents, and therefore, and that is the basis of the meeting between the CRO, the first respondent, the third respondent, and Peter, because the second respondent was never part of that conversation. Therefore, the decision to change was made by the CRO. Now, that is directly, as you are putting it, a party's role. But when it comes from the commission side, then that is why one of our questions is, what is the impartiality of the CRO while dealing with this particular case that was before him?
So then, again, I'm just following up as our good professor who want to seek clarification.
Yes.
Now, it's what you are telling us is that the returning officer interfered with the decision of the political party.
Yes. Number one.
Has the political party come up and said, we've not even had a chance
Yes.
of looking at this.
Yes.
That is why we say, give us all your documents. Excuse me, that phone might end up being confiscated. Switch it off or put it on silent. Has the party come up and complained to the CRO that you interfered with our candidate in terms of the running mate? Has the
I am not aware of any complaints or correspondence made by the party to the CRO or the commission.
So can I give you the 15 seconds to finalize so that we can
Then, if he could give them the context of the actual conversations that they were involved in, to sum it up, to crown everything, then the CRO can offer clarification kindly.
Yes, sir. We have been requested on that, but you see now we've taken almost 10 times more than the time.
My sincere apologies.
It's okay because we are trying to understand.
Yes.
Because we have not read this.
Yes.
We have not had an opportunity to read. Now is when we are going to read. Can I give you 3 minutes just to clarify that little issue that your advocate had requested we clarify?
Your Honor, sir, on 5th, I and
Let us know.
Introduce yourself.
I'm Peter Wat Songoli.
Yes, please.
On 5th, Your Honor, I and the governor candidate went to CRO's office, Honorable Odepe Nakara, went to CRO's office for confirmation of the documents that we had, that is putting the documents in order. And he went ahead, he checked all our documents, and funny enough, he insisted on the issue of resignation, and I asked him resignation from where? I am an executive secretary of the Kenya National Union of Teachers. I'm not working under the TSC, neither am I earning a salary from TSC. The NAT had given me leave of absence, a letter, that is from the Secretary General, Collins Henry Oyu. That is what I presented. And from that level, the CRO changed completely and instructed the governor to replace me immediately. I don't know what made him to become so mad. And I kept quiet. So the governor kept on insisting, this is my best choice. How do I replace when I am about to go for clearance? Please understand me. He pleaded before the CRO. And that was not enough. On 6th, the governor mobilized all the UDA lead team in Turkana County to come and plead with the CRO. He was adamant. He was not even able to listen to the leaders. who are members of the UDA.
Governor candidate.
The governor candidate, Your Honor.
Okay.
So, in this case, therefore, Your Honor, the CRO influenced my replacement. He had a big contribution. Even after the governor candidate pleading with him, even after the MPs who are candidates of the UDA pleaded with him on 6th, it was between 5th and 6th. 7th was our day to go for clearance. So he had participated in it fully. He had fully immersed himself in the whole entire process. And I even asked him, are you a candidate of UDA? Why are you so much participating in this issue? Instead of leaving the party to wrestle if there are some issues that were pending. He is here present. Thank you.
Can I ask you something?
Yes.
Why were you purported in the place? Whether it is by the CRO or by anybody else. What was the reason?
The reason the CRO was giving was resignation. And the issue of resignation with not officials is not there. What we are given is leave of absence. We go for political campaigns. If we succeed, then it is there that we resign. If we fail, we go back to serve teachers in the union. That is what is there, Your Honor.
And you also allege that you are a member of UDA at that time.
Definitely. I have my supportive documents of being a member of UDA. I came to Nairobi 1 week and I spent all my time with the governor candidate trying to do all the processes. Yes.
Have you ever complained to UDA about what happened with change of your running status?
Your Honor, that is the reason why I'm in this court, to seek justice.
No, I'm just saying, have you complained to your party, not to... Have you complained to your party about the mistreatment you've gotten in the party, if I understand you?
Immediately, Your Honor, when that issue happened, I was desperate. These people are not even taking my calls, SMS, no responses. I became their enemy. Yet I was with them in the last minute.
It's okay, we understand you. Thank you very much. No laughing, please. If you were in his place, you'd be crying, you'll not be laughing in this. So we have the powers. If anybody tries to play around with this hearing, we can order the askaris to remove you or please. This is a court of law, not just a committee. We have the status of a court of law. We can request anybody to be excluded. Mr. Returning Officer,
Yes, yeah.
you have what has been said.
Yes.
I want you to limit yourself to the paragraphs in response to what has been said. But again, I want you to address us on whether or not this committee has jurisdiction to deliberate on the dispute that is before us.
The jurisdiction, I'm a running officer of IEBC. This is a commission, committee. I cannot question their jurisdiction.
Okay. What do you say to the allegations that you are quasi-UDA member determining who is to be the running mate?
Mr. Chairman, I cannot be a member of UDA. I'm a returning officer of IEBC. One of our policies is partiality. What is being purported here are allegations that are strange against this committee. Mr. John Lodepe, the governor aspirant by that time, came to my office and I said, if you check whether his documents were okay. He came with then I was calling something. When I looked at the documents, they were okay. But I only advised him that his case, because when they came to check the suitability, I had to look at everything that they presented. I just advised him, in this case, this guy is a public officer, which is guided by the Elections Act, which is signed 6 months to election, the 9th of January. That's what I said. But I told them, you are free to come and present the document. Then if you don't go through, you will still go to the tribunal. That's all I did. So the rest, whether I found that when on 7, he came with a guy, a man called Ekusi Nikalori. I checked the documents of the governor aspirant. They were okay. I checked on Ekusi Mikalori. They are okay. We checked on the party membership on the CRMS system. They were okay. I had no grounds not to clear them to run for UDA candidate into Ghana Party.
So you confirmed the membership of the Kusimila,
Yes, I did in the CRMS.
the CRMS.
Yes.
Does the CRMS tell you when somebody joined as a member
No,
of a political party?
no. That's it.
And
It gives you membership when you're running it. It checks on membership, and it ticks that this person is a member of the party, not going back to know which when they joined the party.
Okay. So was there a member of the ORCP or an official of ORCP there?
Yes, please.
You had a president of ORCP.
There was.
Did they participate in that checking process of membership?
They did support.
Emerson,
Yes, Commissioner.
governors and their enemies
Yes.
were supposed to submit the names on 23rd of May. Do you have any information as to who was presented, who the governor presented as the running mate?
Commissioner, that was presented to the Commission headquarters,
Yes.
and we're waiting for them to be uploaded to the CRMS for clearance.
What was your role when you were telling the governor candidate that Peter would be a problem? Why did you think so?
He came for advice on the suitability of his document.
That's why I'm asking you.
Yes.
The reason why you thought he's a public servant.
Yes, I can give clarity to that.
Please.
Because he says he's an executive secretary of NAC at the branch level. When you look at the Teachers Code of Regulations, Regulation 187(1) says this, that any teacher who wants to participate in politics shall resign 6 months to elections as per Election Act of number 24 of 2012. Regulation 2 says, Subregulation 2 says, teachers released to the trade, this regulation shall apply to teachers released to trade unions. For him, he was a
It
teacher.
applies to-
Yeah?
Read that again.
Regulation 187(1) says, Teachers Code of Regulation, any teacher who wants to participate in politics shall resign 6 months to election as per Election Act number 24 of 2012. That is 1. 2 says, teachers released to trade, this regulation shall apply to teachers released to trade unions. For him, he was released to trade unions by Teacher Service Commission. On the same note, Regulation 167, the same part of Regulation 4 says, a teacher released to trade unions shall submit 31% of their salary to Teacher Service Commission to maintain free government pension scheme with Teacher Service Commission. For that, I just advise them that this is a public officer, and therefore, for me, at this level, it doesn't matter. But if you want him to come, let him come. I will act when he comes. That's for them.
Now the question is,
Yes.
what you have led
Yes.
that for those teachers released to the trade union,
Yes.
do they still remain teachers? and they are not earning money from the trade union. They are only submitting a certain percentage. You said that 1%?
31%.
Yeah.
Yes.
Does that 1%, according to interpretation, constitute them being teachers and public servants? For
Yeah, the
that
commissioner, the law says that a teacher must resign. That is one. Eh? Two, it says the same regulation applies to teachers released. That means that resignation applies to them also. And now, why 31% makes them to be teachers is why are they maintaining government free pension for public servants if they're not government public officers?
Mr. Returning Officer.
Yes, yeah.
How did you become privy to the occupation of the gentleman who came with the government? How did you become privy to his status as?
He came with the documents saying where I was. I asked him now, are you a public servant? He said, I'm a nut. Yeah? So that is why I came here.
All right, we've heard you. Thank you, Ms. Amanda. Can you first of all just break out your I don't know how you are going to do it. Break up that issue of jurisdiction is still hanging in my head. And I want to read our minds to the effect that one of the questions that we've been trying to seek to answer is whether or not this is a dispute between party members and their party. They are now approaching you bring out the preliminary inspection against your procedure on something like the dispute. I think now that is now. We are asking you to address us on jurisdiction with respect to the character of this complaint. Then number two, you also have a substantive objection on how this committee was approached, and more particularly with respect to the rules of procedure and settlement of disputes. I hope we are together.
Yes, we are together.
Political Parties Act, what
Yes.
role it plays in this proceedings so as to give or remove our jurisdiction, and then now the rules of procedure and settlement of disputes.
I will allow my colleague to go in first with that issue on the key and enumerate the issues as I had indicated earlier.
Then, as a senior, then you now let me
Yes.
do the- Okay.
In fact, that's what we had agreed, that I go in first. But allow me also to respond to one issue on that aspect of jurisdiction.
Yes.
When does this committee come into existence? That is after presentation of nomination papers to the commission.
That is when our jurisdiction kicks in.
Commences, yes. That is very clear in the statute. I have listened carefully to the submissions by my learned colleague and also the oral presentation by the candidate. And my deduction of the same is that this seems to be a dispute between a candidate or a then proposed candidate and the political party.
Now, I'm sorry to take you back here.
Yes.
Are you saying that our jurisdiction commences after presentation of the nomination papers?
Yes, because
What, under what provisions of the law, so that we just
the first the beginning provision is section 18. That is the section 18 of the Elections Act, because the issue before the commission is the presentation of the papers. But we are saying that the mandatory rules of procedure, that is 8 and 10 of Gazette Notice number LN 139 and 2012, are clear on and are clear on when Regulation 98 and Article 88 of the Constitution kick in. That is part of the PO that my colleague will be enumerating before the tribunal. But allow me to just lay the basis. My colleague, first and foremost, there is no co-complainant in this matter. And the complaint that was lodged before the tribunal on the 10th of June 2022 is clear that the complainant is Ekai Lomoru Nicholas. There is no complaint lodged before this tribunal, and at least as at the deadline of lodging those complaints by Mr. Peter Lewatz. I can't remember the other name. Yes, the gentleman who has been interviewed at was examined by the tribunal. The complaint, as contained in that complaint, is twofold. One, that there was no change, that there was change of the deputy county governor, contrary to Section 18 of the Elections Act 2011, and two, that Mr. Ekusi Mikalore, the second respondent, does not qualify or did not qualify then. That is the complaint before this tribunal. I have not seen any complaint against the commission. A party, this tribunal is a court. A party is bound by their pleadings. The allegations about the RO are belated and an afterthought. They have just been brought through and sneaked in through the submissions, and we request the tribunal to disregard and dismiss the complaint on the basis that the issues that have arisen are not contained in the complaint. Most importantly, I would want to take on submission on the provisions of Section 18, who was presented to the Commission as the Deputy Governor candidate for UDA party in Turkana County. It is considered in the affidavit in support and in the body of the complaint that the second respondent is a party that was submitted to the commission, and papers presented in line with Section 18 of the Elections Act. The complaint by the complainant, who is a citizen and not the then candidate or the person who was alleged to have been the candidate that was preferred, complains that he had not resigned, that person, that the, I don't know how to put it, but Peter Ewat Longoli was substituted. Can one substitute that which does not exist? We submit that the only submission that ought to be challenged before this tribunal would have been submission made after 7th of June 2022. The complainant in his papers admits that presentation of the deputy of the governor and the deputy governor candidates of the UDA party to the commission was done on the 7th of June 2022. I will not belabor that point. There has been many decisions on that. And
Just seek a clarification.
yes, Mr. Chairman.
At any given time,
Yes.
was the gentleman who was given as a statement here ever nominated as running mate for the governor?
That takes us to the affidavit of the third respondent, because the law allows, Article 185 allows only the governor nominee to nominate the running mate, not Article 185. This is the only option given to the governor, that it is the governor candidate to nominate, not the political party. It is the governor who is given that option of nominating a person qualified, who is qualified for nomination. That option is not given to the political party or any other third party. The third respondent, Mr. John Lodepe Nakara, is clear on his affidavit, which affidavit has not been rebutted, that he is the one who nominated Mr. Ekusi Lore as his running mate, as the county deputy governor. That is contained at paragraph 22. He says in black and white, I did not nominate Mr. Peter Mongoli at any time to be my running mate. I'm referring the tribunal to the affidavit of the third respondent sworn on 16th of June 2022. I would want to also... Yes, Mr. Commissioner.
When the governor has in law,
Yes,
but there are also the requirement for running mates, governors and running mates,
yes.
to be names to be forwarded to the commission for purposes of
Yes, as
Now,
required.
Are you saying that Peter was not the name forwarded during that time?
That is the position taken by the third respondent.
No, I don't want the position of the
Yes,
party. I
this
want
is-
to know your position.
The position,
Of you as a representative of your client's party.
yes, he has the instructions, and the position that I know is that the name that was forwarded for the position of the DG was that of Ekusi Lore Mika. And I want this tribunal and committee to see the mischief of failing to enjoin the political party, and even failing to enjoin...
No, okay, that's a different matter.
Yes.
We've observed the political party is not enjoined in this as a respondent or interested party. But that aside,
Yes,
you say your client has the sole prerogative.
yes.
Did your client at any one time forward the name of one Peter Ewat as a running mate to the commission?
No.
The 23rd of May,
Yes.
as required.
No. The name that had been forwarded and was forwarded was that of the second respondent, Ekusi Mika Lore, as the running mate. And just tied to that, sorry,
Just for clarity, who is John Nakala? The third
The
respondent.
governor candidate.
John
Governor
Lodepe
candidate.
Yes.
Nakara is the governor candidate.
Thank you.
Mika Ekusi Lore is now the running mate, or rather the DG candidate.
We have a record of all the running mates for presidential and governor candidates as submitted as 23rd May. We will want to refer to that.
We
to
actually
know.
gave them time.
Yes, from
They
16.
were submitted on 16.
They were supposed to be on
of May.
16. Then we give them time up to 23rd of May.
Yes.
And that is why I wanted to know from you.
Yes.
You know, the initial submissions of candidates
Yes.
was sometime towards the end of April.
Yes.
initial.
26th. Yes.
And all political parties, including the secretary of your client's party, came to the commission, pleaded for more time.
Yes.
And we agreed with them and gave them more time. During which, when the time given lapsed, we had all presidential and governor and deputy submitted. These are records with the commission.
Yes.
And that's why I'm asking you, at that time, was your client, which name did your client submit to ANC?
The position and the instructions as I stand here was that the name that was submitted was that of the second respondent. That is the
Is
instructions
that for the record?
Can you take us for the record?
Well, I will speak as an advocate. Those are the instructions that I have subject. Let me just stand. Let me say that the instructions that I have as an advocate as I stand here, that I can confirm, is that as of 7th of June 2022 is the second respondent. Let me flip the answer that way. Was the Ekusi Lore?
On the record that you may not have
Can you
a
cross-examine with you?
I cannot be cross-examined because
From the-
I'm giving.
You're giving evidence.
Yes,
Council is giving
Just
evidence.
give clarity.
I'm not giving evidence, and I have stated as an advocate that the instructions that I have, and because the commission has asked me to confirm, let me confirm that the position that I know, that I can verify, because of the documentation that I have, is that the DG submitted as at 7th of June 2022 is the second respondent. I would have to confirm.
Let me just try and make it easy for you. You are being asked that prior to this 7th of June 2022, had the party or the third respondent represented to the first respondent any other name, and more particularly the one of the gentleman who was saying that I am the one. Do you know whether or not there was that position?
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know.
Okay,
Let me be honest. I wouldn't know.
Then let me ask you something.
Yes.
You were talking about, was it Article 185?
185.
185.
Subsection, sub-article 5. Yes. But let me answer also this question in a legal way. Because I know the trail of this of submission of names and replacement came to fruition on the deadline that was given, and when a party can be substituted, and the mischief sought to be cured by Section 18 of the Elections Act, is that after presentation which in this case was on the 7th of June 2022, then there cannot be substitution. What does the complainant say? That I was substituted, yet I have not resigned. Had the owners then shift to the complainant to say that my name was submitted as to the commission as a running mate, not by the political party, but by the candidate, and this candidate has since substituted me, whereas I'm still alive, I am not dead, I have not resigned, and I'm not incapacitated. That is the crux of this complaint. That upon presentation of the nomination papers to the commission by the governor candidate, not by the political party, then substitution cannot occur unless now the conditions set in the proviso are satisfied.
Now, I'd like to take you back to the first round of the complaint.
Yes.
I just wanted to just seek one clarification that there's an issue which has come up which we cannot just push under the carpet. When I was not the deputy governor, the person who was the gentleman who was here, who is not a party to these proceedings, as you have rightly said, if he had been had he been found not to be legible on account of what the returning officer was saying, that he was still enshackled with the civil service could it have been open for him to be replaced?
Let me start from his very own affidavit, sworn.
I think let's leave that. That's just a pure legal question. Could he have been replaced if he was found to be ineligible?
Yes, he would have been replaced, like what had happened in the Irungu Kangata matter, before presentation of the papers.
And I need to now limit you because it's like we have been very kind. We've done 1 hour. You were supposed to do 20 minutes. We have another heated session. We do not want to meet here at 11 o'clock like we did yesterday because we've had almost like 20 judgments to that. I'd kindly like to limit you to 2 minutes. You finish, and then you give your brother the chance to address us on the legal issues that we talked about. So could you kindly, it's now clear from where we sit that you are saying that that gentleman had no blessings of the third respondent. The third respondent only knows who? The second respondent. And that gentleman cannot use somebody else to force him to be a deputy governor candidate, if I understand you properly.
Yes. The other link, let me just use my 2 minutes. First and foremost, it's on record, admitted by Peter Ewat Longoli. He said he resigned from Jubilee Party on 10th of May 2022. That is way beyond the window for switching. So he was not even eligible to be a running mate of any political party, as at the date he went, he says 6th and 5th of June. He ought to have resigned from Jubilee Party on 26th of March 2022.
So does that mean if he had been presented as a material deputy governor, he would not have been cleared?
He would not have been cleared. And he has also not brought his credentials to confirm to this tribunal that I was eligible to be a running mate. Why was I replaced? Even if we are saying there was no replacement before the presentation of the papers. Allow me to say another thing that is key. There has been the second limp of the complainant is that Mr. Kusi Lore does not meet the threshold to have been nominated as a DG candidate. He has annexed his papers, and the requirement that he's a holder of a degree has been met. The other thing that is very crucial is whether the complainant has brought the documentation to support his allegation that Mr. Ekusi Lore joined the political party of the UDA political party on 3rd of June 2022. What this commission has been presented with is an extract, perhaps from a mobile phone that is not disclosed, that is said to have emanated from star 509 hash SSB, USSB. The rules of evidence are clear. Section 106B. This is presentation of electronic evidence. There has been no register brought from the office of the registrar or political party saying that Mr. Ekusi Lore switched or became a party. The evidence that was brought by the political party that he joined UDA and is a life member has not been controverted. And this is where my learned colleague ought to have enjoined the party so that the party can confirm indeed this is not our life member. Lastly,
10 seconds,
well, forgery, on the issue of forgery. Forgery is a serious crime. It ought to be proved beyond doubt or on a higher scale. It has not been proved that Mr. Ekusi Lore forged the EACC forms. And we ask the Commission to disregard that submission. The first respondent has confirmed that Mr. Ekusi Lore met all the credentials. I will not belabor the points much further. My colleague can just take a minute.
Your sister has cited so many legal provisions. I don't know how many you're citing, and I want to give you 2 minutes. Let's just refer to what the people refer to us.
Yes,
the
sir.
facts as they are emerging are now becoming clearer. So what is still there is the law. So can you give me 3 minutes to highlight on that? Then I need to go to that water in the kissing. That's also a very important part of justice here. So can you give me 3 minutes? What you can even do, you can even tell us you refer to this provision, this provision, this provision, like this still in the provision. Understand that and learn it with the fact that has been given so that we can be fair to the other parties.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable Chair and members of the Tribunal, allow me to address you on 5 issues within the time that you've given me. The first issue, and all of them relate to jurisdiction of this tribunal and also the competence of this complaint. The first issue, honourable members.
Let me just. There's something that you people are running away from, and still it's bothering our mind. Is this an intra-party dispute? Is it a dispute involving members of a party with their party, or between members of the party, and members of the party with their party, and the position that has been taken by the party to endorse the nomination of somebody else for presentation to the returning officer, so that it is clear in our mind that you are saying this is not an intra-party dispute as envisaged under the Political Parties Act. Kindly, your colleagues have run away from that.
Yes,
and I hold you to account, please. We've given you the final right of the chair address us on whether or not this is an intra-party dispute.
Yes. I will address that, Honourable Chair. I'll address you on 5 limbs. The first limb is on the jurisdiction of this tribunal. Honourable members, you will note that the name UDA party or UDA party membership has been predominantly the issue of discussion. You will note from the pleadings that it is a complaint. It is a complaint about membership of a party, right? Membership of a party. When someone became a member, and how someone was replaced as a member, okay, and how someone resigned with the legitimate expectation of being nominated. Honourable members, on that submission, on that point alone, we submit that this is an inter-party dispute, couched as a complaint to serve. Yes, intra-party dispute. My apologies. Couched as a complaint to fit the provisions of Section 74 of the Elections Act. Secondly, and still on the same limb, honourable members, you will note that I would like to address you on the question: when was this complaint filed? When was this complaint filed? Honourable members, a complaint is only filed by the filing of Form 1, that is a complaint form, and regulation or Rule 8 sub Rule 4 requires that that complaint has to be accompanied by a statement under oath. So it means a complaint is only complete if it is accompanied by the evidence relied upon in the complaint, or if the complaint has a sworn statement, and under the Oaths and Statutory Declarations Act, that can only be sworn by an advocate, Commissioner for Oaths. Honourable members, you will note that the complaint is dated 8th of June, and it is alleged to have been filed on the 9th of June. But, honourable members, you will note that the grounds which we're even canvassing are contained in both the affidavit of the complainant, that is the Ekai Lomoro Nicholas, and also the affidavit of Peter, the gentleman who clarified some issues to the tribunal. Honourable members, that second affidavit was sworn on the 10th, and as has been admitted by counsel, it was filed on the 14th of June 2022. Honourable members, we submit that under Rule 8.1 and Rule 8.4F, this complaint was filed on the 14th of June 2022. And what does that mean, honourable members? Honourable members, that means that this complaint is not only statute-backed, but even the courses of action that emanate from it cannot be heard by this honourable tribunal.
And pose one question.
Yes.
Have you been in a position to respond to the contents of the affidavit of 10th of June, so that we might have to look at the issues of prejudice?
Yes, we have responded. We have responded on issues of law. You will note that our further affidavit addresses the issues of law, right?
What issues of fact you left them out?
Yes, the issues of fact, we have addressed them on the basis of be so as it may, or in any event, in the alternative, right? We are convinced, honourable members, that this honourable tribunal should be convinced that those issues should be stricken off by the fate of the statute of limitations. But in the event, or in the event this tribunal is convinced to even look at them, even in a be so as it may basis, we have still submitted on them on that basis only, right? Thirdly, honourable members, Rule 8, sub Rule 5 of this honourable tribunal's rules requires that, provides for how complaints should be filed, even in the first place. Honourable members, it provides that the complaint should be lodged with the Commission and served upon the respondent and the party which nominated the concerned candidate. Honourable members, you will note that the third respondent was rightfully nominated by the UDA party. And honourable members, there is an allegation that Mr. Ikusi Lore was also nominated by the UDA party. Has Rule 8.5 been met? Has these proceedings been served upon the UDA party? It has not. And honourable members, you will note that the Gazette notice which my learned colleague referred you to, that is the one on 27th April, requiring names to be submitted by 16th of May.
Council, I don't know why we are all getting impatient here.
Yes.
To get to 3 minutes, I explain to 6. Could you just mention, because you've done a beautiful piece of work with 8.4, with 8.5.
Yes.
Which other provisions of the law are you reading? So that we can also serve the other, but we just want to be fair to everybody.
Okay.
Can you just mention to us, because you talked about the 8.5, it's clear to us what it means, and what also you think it means, accompanied by a academic and then a civil servant and 10. Could you just finalize so that we that the other document which you have also come out and
Yes, I believe, Honorable Chair, that you look at our submission. So let me limit it to this.
No, we do not want to limit you because you said there were 5. So I was expecting 5
Yes.
provisions of the law that you are going to rely on.
Yes.
So, you've only
So the
done
first-
3. Can I allow you to go to number 4 and 5? The other 5, you said you have 5 points.
Yes, I don't know whether you have captured.
I've done.
The first-
I've captured section 74. I've captured rule 84. I've
Yes.
captured rule 85. Which are the other 2? I do not want to shut you out, but we have to be fair to everybody.
Yes,
Or you'll be exhausted.
Rule 10. Honorable members, Rule 10. What Rule 10 provides is that when can this honorable tribunal, or under what basis can this honorable tribunal disallow a complaint? Rule 10 provides that this honorable tribunal will disallow any complaint if it does not comply with the rules, and we've already demonstrated the non-compliance. Yes, finally, honorable members, right? Finally, honorable members, Section 40 of the Political Parties Act provides for the jurisdiction of the Political Parties Tribunal. Honorable members, we've attached an authority that binds not only courts but even tribunals, that if there's any other convenient forum that a dispute ought to be determined, yes, that forum ought to be honorable members, it was part of the things which were discussed in Emankirote, right? Yes. Okay. Yes, it is supplied. It is part of our records. Yes. Fine.
Given you more latitude than everyone, so allow us now to get to the next part because it's quite clear to us. Now it's clearly into work and chase. That's the only issue to whether or not it says. That is what it is.
Na mwenye aliletwa pia hatoshi.
Would you like to make people laugh?
Yes, honorable.
That's what he's saying. Work and chase.
It's not the only one.
We have others, but it's the main one. So, once you give your decision on this, on 20 at 4 p.m.
Okay.
We have the meeting. 20th of June, sorry.
Very well. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Much obliged. Good evening. Good evening.
We're not